Hello and welcome back to Tactical Chile Wargaming. My name is Patricio and with me, Charlie. How are you
Hey
today,
everyone,
Charlie?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Oh, not too bad, man. Cold, but good.
Cold? Been
Yeah,
a cold day, been a cold week,
yeah, cold,
been a
very
cold
cold.
year.
Yeah, yeah. Cold, yeah, I don't know. It's been warm for me, but yeah. We are again recording. We are going to deliver what we promise. Some of the interviews with the WTC players. This time we have two players that are going this year to the WTC. Who are they, Charlie?
Yes, so today, part two of our Team New Zealand Journey to WTC series. We have the lovely Michael Taylor and Cam Wilkinson with us, both players on Team New Zealand 2024. So shall we invite them in?
Yes, let's go directly to the point because otherwise we are going to be here until
Oh yeah,
midnight again.
it's another 2 hour episode. Yep,
That's
yep.
not going to happen. So welcome, Cam, Michael. Give me 1 second. They are mute, so you will need to unmute over there, guys. The big,
Hello.
there is.
Good evening.
Welcome, boys.
Hi,
How's it
guys.
going?
Good.
Very good.
Hope you've both recovered from the NZTC weekend, 6 rounds.
To
Thanks,
a
Michael.
degree. The last game was definitely a bridge too far.
What?
I know we had a
Despite-
pretty good round 6.
Yeah.
There was a lot of feedback after day one to get rid of the sixth round.
I
Then
think it would have been
everyone
all right if we
decided-
had like 3 drops. in the
Then
last
everyone decided that they wanted the last round, and then no one wanted to take the bye. And then at the end of the last round, everyone went, "Please never do a sixth round again." So
I think we
it's
were.
hard to please the people.
Yeah, I know. I think we were the only ones that were truly wanted the sixth round until the sixth round hit. I was like, why we say that we wanted a sixth one? This is
Yeah, that's
stupid.
because we thought we could win and we needed a 6 round to win.
Ah, correct.
But,
Yeah, yeah.
after the loss, I was just like, yep, no, I'm tired. My body's broken. I'm old.
My back
Yeah.
was sore ass, to be honest, but a part of that spirit was there. But yeah,
No, really cool. So we've got Michael and Cam, both members of Team New Zealand this year, flying out in less than 3 weeks now. Excited?
3 weeks.
You
To the-
painted?
The moment we'll be on the
Oh.
plane about to depart.
That's
So
it.
we fly out at
Yes.
8:30 on Friday in 3 weeks' time.
Yes, that is true. Yes.
oh, so it's,
Hopefully had a few drinks at the airport. You know?
Are we odds on that everyone's got an up-to-date passport?
Oh,
I checked.
someone
I
is screwing it up, 100%. Someone's
Yep.
not isn't going to check until the day before and then
Oh.
find that they've lost it.
oh,
Or it expires in 3 weeks and it's like, oh, that's all good.
I'm gonna put my money on Finn. He seems the most likely.
I have seen his. I know it exists, but I can bet it's going to go missing.
oh man, that is the
Yeah.
worst. Yeah, I
Yeah.
yeah, I had that experience. I lost mine. I, we had a flight to Miami, and in the one stop that we did in Peru, we changed airplane, and I left the bloody passports in the seat. My wife was super happy.
It's only a cheap mistake.
Yeah. We were
Emergency
losing.
passports are affordable.
Yes, we were losing our uh, cruise because we arrived at Miami and they were straight to a cruise. So if we didn't catch the plane, luckily for me, we got it. But yes, that can happen, and be careful with. Yeah, it's not fun at all.
Yeah.
That's why we have Trip Mum.
So all of you
Yes,
are
absolutely.
traveling together at the same time, same plane this time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
look at that.
No.
All we need is a couple of tables and we can set up our own little practice session on the way over.
Won't be doing that.
Oh.
I'll be unconscious for as much as humanly possible.
So
Excellent.
yes, I will be fixing, guys, the pictures. You don't worry about that. See, look at that.
Yeah. Well, while you're
Big
doing
mic.
that, Pato,
Yes.
Cam, why don't you tell us about how you got started in the hobby?
Okay. I think probably very similar to what most of us had back when I was about, I want to say 11, 12. Had
Was
like
that 2012?
no, like age, so like maybe circa 2004. Got some Necrons as a mate's dad was into it, and I thought
Nice.
I could do this too. Got some Necrons that I painted with about 1,000 layers of paint. Just instead of stripping, just repaint the color scheme over the top. But then pretty much nothing from then until the 2020 COVID lockdowns up here in Auckland. And getting home from work and not being able to do much, I thought I'd just order something from Mighty Ape to have a crack at, and now here we are.
Was that your Tau army that I saw
It
you play
was.
very early on? Yes.
It was.
I remember we had a game in Spellbound at one of the
Yeah.
events.
Very early on. And now we're flying halfway around the world. What, 2 years, 3 years later, give or take?
Very cool. You're not even playing Tau.
No.
Or are you? Don't know.
Oh.
When is this episode coming out? After list submission. That's fine.
Yeah. I can say that I'm playing Silver Boys.
Silver Boys.
Silver
Bring
Boy.
the Silver Tau. Michael, what about you? Because I know you've been playing for a while.
For a while. I got into the hobby in general with those Lord of the Rings magazines back in the day. This was like 2005 maybe.
I feel that was around the same time.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing as like the Imperium magazine, but for the Lord of the Rings game, and then eventually transitioned into 40k, in again, out again, through 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and then came back properly mid 8th and been playing since then.
Yeah, I remember seeing you at some of the 900-point tournaments and doubles, and I think to this day you were the only person that killed my Iron Hands Leviathan. Because you vectored my half damage or something, right?
Yeah, I think at the time I played Drukhari in a doubles, and yes, I think we vectored it and then just went after it and got it down. So
yeah, that was a very fun game. Yeah.
Mm.
Awesome. So I guess you, Michael, like I've seen you play Custodes, I've seen you play Sisters, you've played a bunch of different factions, and Cam, you as well. What would be your favorite faction? Like rules and meta chasing, all of that side. What's your favorite faction?
I find myself coming back to Tau every time something new comes out. It's the first, and it's probably the more diverse of the armies that I own in terms of like you can build a lot of different army kind of styles, whereas Grey Knights is very much you got 2 options, and that's pretty much always been that way.
True. All right, he's a Tau player, Pato. We can cook him now. It's all good.
Yes. No. I'm. To be honest, I love Tau because of the armors and the suits and everything. I have my little corner with Taus and slowly growing them. But yeah, when they came the first time, I hate them. Like I really hate them. I was playing Space Wolves, and the fact that they shoot the shit out of you and you couldn't do pretty much anything because it was really strong. So I had a friend of mine playing Tau, so I was always trying to find a way to beat him. The recipe was 36 bikes. At that moment there was Swift Claws, so you throw everything and tag as much as you can.
Sounds like not much has changed for you.
That's what I was going to say. That's exactly like 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah, and you got the shit shot out of you by Tau,
Yes.
who we have on stream today.
Pretty much.
Excellent.
Yeah, pretty much. Can play really well that game, and I was shoot out of the board very fast, faster than I expected. So yeah.
Yeah.
But
Michael, what about you?
I started my competitive journey on Tau, but I've since reformed.
You did. Yes,
And I've
the
seen-
white Tau.
Yeah, I've seen the light. I started on Triptide with some egregious amount of drones. I sold my Tau and in current edition, and the guy was like, "Why do you have 60 drones?" And I was like, "You'll never understand."
this was a thing before.
It was the way.
Yes.
Yep, they all had different jewels on top of them, colored jewels to tell them apart, because there was just infinite amounts of them. But no, I am firmly a Sisters of Battle player now, and thoroughly enjoy the playstyle of the army, the diversity of the builds you can play. They've got shooting builds, they've got combat builds, they've got somewhere in the middle. Miracle Dice are a hell of a drug once you get used to them, and not having access to them in other armies feels pretty bad. So I'm firmly, and it's probably my biggest collection now. It'll be up there as one of my bigger collections. So, yep, definitely a hardcore Sisters player now. But I do dabble from time to time. I'm not that faithful to the army.
Well, we're hoping to see you back on Custodies at some stage.
Well, not anymore. I don't own the army, so
Well, you can always start a new one.
I might, but no, I've got other projects to work on.
Awesome.
The Custodes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess following that, what's your favorite event in New Zealand that you like to attend? One you would always go to, if you could.
I'll be honest, I've only been once, and it was Warzone down in Wellington.
Yeah.
I want to say maybe 6 months ago. But that
Oh,
was
yeah, the
mainly
one
just
we all went to. Yeah.
the one we
early
all went to and ended up all playing each other at, which was good.
Yeah.
But no, I really enjoyed just like the 9-hour car drive trip, just talking
Oh, you drove, of course.
absolute trash the whole way there. It was a
Awesome.
highlight, and then it was a really good tournament as well in terms of there was a decent number of people there. Just,
Yeah, I like those ones because sometimes you get to peer up to new people. You're not flying down just to play someone from Auckland, that lives down the street from you, right?
Don't get me wrong, I played Tate, Dan, and Hayden across the 2 days.
Okay, cool.
That sucks.
Did you play any Wellington people?
I played Carl Pierce and
Oh, yeah. Carl's a
Steve
staple.
Joel,
Steve Joel.
Yep.
and there's one other person. Can't think off the top of my head.
Oh, at least you play somebody.
Steve Joel, Warzone, bad memories.
Luke DeVewen or something like that. He's playing Death Guard.
Could be.
Okay, doesn't ring a bell. Interesting. What
Well,
about
that's
you,
my-
Michael? Yeah.
I'm gonna have to shill our own events and say
course.
NZTC.
Yeah.
I'm a teams player through and through, so I had to pick a teams event, and NZTC I think is just the main event on the calendar that I'll always make sure I can go to. I mean, usually I'm running it, so I can't not go to it.
Yep.
But it's I love the team format. NZTC always gets players from around the country, which is cool to see. So it's not just Aucklanders. It gets the biggest turnout of any of our events. So, just a great format. By far my favorite. Happy that it's back. It took a bit of a hiatus for a few years. Shout out to Hayden and Bartosz for kicking it off pre-COVID days. So cool to see it still running, still growing. Touch wood, next year we'll get to 100 players.
Yep.
Almost
And
this
the
time.
fabled 6 rounds.
We might skip the fabled 6th round. I got someone messaged me after the event and said, please never run a 6-round event ever again. So that was pretty strong feedback against the 6-rounder. So I think we've tried it. We've
Or
got
do
it
we
out
push
of our
out to 3
system.
days?
I think that would also be a bit of a catastrophe. So
We just don't have the volume of players to need 6 rounds or 3 days, I think.
we don't. We would never need a 3rd day. The 6th round was completely irrelevant to NZTC, outside of getting more practice games in. But I feel like half the games there were handshake 10-10s and we'll pack down and chill out. So me and my opponent discussed that at the start of the game. Went, oh, we'll play it. It's fine. And it ended in 10-10 either way. And we went, man, we just wasted 2 hours of our time.
Yeah.
Well,
So
now you know your data's accurate.
my data wasn't correct in that. I got that one wrong. He got that one wrong.
Did you?
So we at the start said we should just 10-10 draw this and then help pack everything down. So we've learned our lesson. But no, NZTC, fan favorite. I will shout out my other favorite event that isn't running anymore, Fields of Blood. The event that everyone loved to hate on for the comp score, but then actually went and thoroughly enjoyed every time. So
Is that the one in Wellington?
that's Pete's event that he used to
Yes,
run.
that's right.
Yeah, that
Yep.
we always got wound up about the way he did his comp scoring, but still turned up and still had a fun time every time. But I also hope it never comes back because I won the very last one before it stopped running. So I am the reigning champion of Fields of Blood.
The
So
permanent
I hope,
champion. Yep.
yeah, I got the trophy. I hope it never comes back, so I can forever reign over Wellington
Excellent.
and Fields of Blood.
Excellent. Speaking of events that haven't been run for a while, when is Ascension happening? Because I think that's my personal singles event. Favorite singles event. Yeah.
Ascension.
Potentially, usually it's our summer event. So Ascension,
Yeah.
for those that don't know, is it's like a slow grow league in one event over a weekend. So you start at 2 rounds at 500 points, then you play 2 rounds at 1,000, then you play 2 rounds at 2,000. So that's our OG 6-rounder. We say we haven't
Yeah.
run them, but we actually
Yeah.
did run them because 5,000
But we're
500 point
right.
games turned out they don't take very long.
Yeah.
So it was certainly an interesting format. Some people loved it, some people not so much, but
Oh, okay. I
we'll
absolutely
see how
loved
we
it.
go.
Yeah.
I think
Fantastic event.
the challenge was in 2022 we were all at LVO
That's right. Yes.
while
That's right.
it was meant to run, because it's usually our January event, so
Yes.
we were all at LVO, so we didn't bother with it then. Last year we were all a bit burnt out because I think we ran 7 events last year and got to the new year and went no. So maybe next year it'll come back in some way, shape, or form.
Looking forward to it. Absolutely looking forward to it.
That's true.
Awesome. Patricia, do you have a favorite event? Might as well include you.
A favorite event. I will agree with Michael. I love teams. I really like the NCTC and the War Wars. The format of teams really caught me, and I really enjoy I started with the guys from Hamilton. Now then I was a mercenary at the Bench Warmers. So yeah, teams is what I like. Yeah, 100%.
Awesome. So I guess, with playing teams and obviously Michael and Cam both being on Team New Zealand this year, how long have you guys been playing competitively and, working and putting the effort, the prep, all of the stuff that goes into playing at a highly competitive level? Go with Cam first.
I guess
2 months.
To be honest, it's definitely kicked up a notch in the last probably 6 to 8 months in terms of when the WTC became onto the radar. That was something I wanted to do.
Yeah,
it was definitely a step, a conscious effort in terms of I used to occasionally watch a video on YouTube or something like that, but now it's very much I know my faction very well and can kind of have informed decisions, even if I haven't played a matchup, just based off kind of, I don't want to say vibes, but there's an ingrained amount of knowledge there now that it does expire very quickly, because all it takes is 1 or 2 data slates and a mission pack, and suddenly you're back to square one. But no, in terms of competitiveness, I would say 8 months ish.
8 months. Pretty good. Because you didn't play ANZTC last year, did you? So you would have started prepping after that.
Yeah, so my first big international event was ANZTC, which was May?
Yeah, May, first weekend of May. That's right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Michael, how about you? Because you've been playing tournaments for a while.
So I got into competitive in mid-8th. So I won't say I've been at the top of the competitive scene since then, but been playing at somewhat of a competitive level. I think as soon as I started playing tournaments, I figured out that by nature I was a competitive person and wanted to at least put my best foot forward every time. So I've been there or thereabouts in the competitive space for that would be in 2018, so 6 years now.
Yeah.
Going on that, and then sort of got into the ANZTC team in the fabled 2020 year. So been on the team for 4 years, only been to 2 events because a whole bunch of them didn't run. I bought tickets and flights for a third, but didn't make it. So the last couple of years sort of stepped up a little bit more in the competitive side.
Yeah. Patricia, you might not know this. Michael used to be the terror of the East Auckland tournament scene. Just come in and sweep up all the trophies. Michael and Sterling, funny enough.
Sterling.
I think in 2019 I played 28 events.
That sounds about right.
Holy crap.
Okay. Yeah, it was
every other weekend.
It was literally every other weekend. Yeah, it was. A lot of those were doubles or kind of smaller events. I'm not going to claim they're all GTs. But yes, I look back on BCP. We were using
Down Under Pairings.
At the time, and was like, man, what did I do with myself in 2019? the answer was I was single and really enjoying playing Warhammer, and there was a lot of doubles run that year. So I think probably close to half of those was the double events.
I remember seeing you in a lot of events, Michael, and I saw that you were like everywhere, like playing all over the country. I was like, well, I would love to have the availability of Michael on 5, but yeah, a lot of envy on
There's
that.
single and disposable income.
Yeah, single, disposable income, no kids. Like it was
The
a
dream.
prime run.
That's the
through
dream.
2019.
That is
Yeah.
the dream. Yep.
Yeah.
Cam, you touched on an interesting point, how the data slate and the new mission pack came out. So what did you find changed mostly for you in terms of your WTC prep?
Obviously there's now a whole lot of new secondary missions, and scoring of primary and stuff is all very much different. And essentially it's just kind of increased the value of units that are scoring units the action economy is kind of the much more important now, I guess, would be my takeaway.
Yeah. And I know you played Grey Knights at NZTC. Has this affected your list changes? Did you find you needed to bring Battle Line because that's been a big thing for Prior Nexus, or just how did you approach the sort of list design?
Well, my NZTC list was skewed about as much as you could skew. It was 5 NDKs, 2 Redeemers, a Strike Squad, and some Tech Marines. In hindsight, Redeemers not what we'd hoped in 8-man teams. It turns out hard to move around WTC boards and quite exploitable in terms of, cool, we're just going to take a board that it can't move past halfway. There was a couple of games where my defense was strong as, with 2 T12 Land Raiders parked within range of my home objective. So no one was taking that. But yeah, going into Pariah, I still think we're still going pretty heavy in the NDK territory. But yeah, we're swapping out the Redeemers for kind of mission play and Termes and Battle Line, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I think you should double down and go 3.
3 Redeemers.
3 Redeemers. Let's go.
There's not a lot of room left after
So
that.
I can sell you a third one.
95 points now or something like that.
I just want to sell you another Redeemer, Cam. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I've only just paid you for the last one.
You did. Michael, with Sisters being a brand new book, Pariah being a brand new mission, and a new balanced data slate and new points, you must have had a busy time the last couple of weeks.
Yes.
Trying to find the secret sauce.
It certainly has been. I think for Sisters, not a huge amount of change in the mission pack, to be honest. They were already one of the armies that could just take insane amounts of cheap garbage. Unfortunately, the cheap garbage we used to have got deleted, and it's changed around now. Not to say that we can't still field cheap garbage. So I think the primary focus for me was understanding the new codex, the new missions I figured I'd pick up along the way. For me, they fundamentally didn't change too much. I was primarily a tactical player. Outside of learning and figuring out in our first couple of games that, wow, you need a lot of mission play tools, a lot of units that can run around and play missions. So making sure I baked enough of those in and sort of figuring out what that magical sweet spot was of number of rubbishy units I needed to have and where they needed to come from. So were there things that had to start on the board? Were there things that had to come in from reserves? That I want them moving incredibly quickly. So once I sort of figured out that magical combo of things that I needed, I then pretty much put all my time into trying to figure out the new Sisters book and what I wanted to bring.
Yeah, because we saw a couple of Sisters players at NZTC last weekend, and the lists were quite different, I have to say. And it seems like Sisters have become more versatile. There's more things they can do, more roles they can play. It's not just 30 Arco spams or the Morven Vale rapid ingress kind of thing, right? So it seems like it's very interesting. It absolutely does, right? But Repentia being what they are now in terms of points,
I know there's definitely a couple of play styles. I won't go into too much detail, otherwise we'll end up talking for hours on Sisters. But I think there's naturally a lot of people are exploring the new stuff. I still think the index the index attachment has a huge amount of play. I won't spoil what I'm likely to run. This weekend will give me my final answer on if I'm going to go new, flashy, or stick with the safe play on the index. But I did run the index attachment at NZTC.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Awesome. So along with the competitive side, I know Michael's a bit of a hobbyist as well, some beautifully painted armies. So I'm going to ask Cam, are you a bit of a hobbyist? How long do you spend painting?
Like, it's definitely improved, but at the same time, I pride myself on being able to go from sprue to battle ready in the space of a day when required.
Very nice. I've seen some of your models. Yeah, that's an accurate description. Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat. I would not call myself a painter at all. But Michael paints some
Yes.
beautiful armies. Yeah, how are you looking at, sort of building on the stuff you're doing on the hobbying side? Is it something you enjoy and you just kind of do it outside of the competitive prep as downtime, or yeah, is it just painting models for armies? I know you paint for other people as well, so
Not often by choice. Sometimes by choice. Often it's Finn drops stuff off at my house and goes, "This will impact you because you're on my team if you don't get it painted. So good luck."
of course.
But no, I've always been a painter. When I started in the hobby in fourth ed, I was very much I wasn't big into sort of art or artistic things, but it really caught on to me as a something that I enjoyed, and for me, it's really a relaxation thing as well. I'm a my job is I'm a thinker. I have to come up with ideas, and I find for me painting is a way to switch my mind off a little bit. Gives me that thing to relax and zone out a bit while doing something productive. And so I've always loved that about painting, and today I'm still. I would say once WTC is over, I'm probably going to have a bit of a break from the competitive side and just focus a bit more on hobby and doing some projects I want to get through. But no, always thoroughly enjoyed painting. Always had a bit of a knack for it as well. And yeah, I've painted probably almost every army in the game now. There's probably not many armies that I haven't painted in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
Interesting.
Is that for other people, for yourself, or because I don't think you do commission painting, do you? Per se?
I've done it. I have done it in the past. I have people I've commission painted for. Generally, what I've found is I'm not a huge fan of it. No offense for the people I painted for, but I just find that the time that I do have, I want to spend on my own stuff. I've got enough projects going on that I'd want to do that, and I think I have a certain level and standard I want to get to, and if things don't look right, I want to make sure I get them looking in a way that I think looks really great. And I don't want to feel bad that either I've rushed something or taken longer than I should have for someone. And I have my style, and I don't. I find it difficult when someone goes, "I want this thing that doesn't really match the style that I paint." And so I think I've definitely found I've moved away a bit from the commission painting side. Still will do bits and pieces here and there for people, but definitely prefer to paint my own things. I've got enough in my backlog to get through. So.
Well, that's really good to hear that you will paint for other people, because I might need some things added to the custodies I got off you.
If it's before WTC, the answer is no.
Well, obviously.
I also need my mascot character done, because everyone has to have something painted by Michael in their army. Otherwise, it's not.
Well, does it count if it's the entire army painted by Michael?
That counts.
That definitely counts. But yes, at this stage, I think I'll be pretty close to having a model that I've painted in everyone's army for WTC. I think Taos, John T, and David are probably the only ones I won't have. So
there'll be plenty of time in the hotel before we start.
Exactly. We'll make it work.
You can do it, Michael. Awesome. We believe in you.
Awesome. I guess getting into the WTC side of things, going to the meat of it now, I guess the biggest question we get asked is, what made you sign up? What made you want to play WTC in the first place? Michael, start with you this time.
All right. I think for me, I played a lot of teams here in New Zealand. I played in Australia a couple of times. WTC is kind of the peak of teams tournaments. So there's an element of testing myself against the best of the best in the world to see where we stand. There's also something pretty cool about representing a country. I claim that the Olympics are on at the same time. We're basically the same level. We're New Zealand representatives. The ferns on our shirt, where we are representing New Zealand on an international level. But I think just being able to go there and put our best foot forward and show what New Zealand 40K is about, and make a good name for ourselves, both as hopefully a competitive country that can hold our own against some of the bigger dogs, not expecting to beat them, but at least put a good show on against them, and show that our brand and style of 40k from down here, generally nice demeanor, can translate on the international stage as well. So very much it was on my bucket list alongside things like LVO of things that I wanted to be able to tick off before I potentially took a bit of a break from the competitive scene, or before I sort of stopped focusing as hard on the competitive side. But I knew if I was to get to WTC, I had to put the work in and make sure I stayed on top of my game. So this is the kind of year I identified as the perfect storm of opportunity and having an army I really liked that I was playing reasonably well on. So really went after it this year.
I have to say you're real lucky that the Sisters book came out really, really good. Could have gone either way. We saw what happened to GSC.
Yeah. I had fallbacks that I was ready to fall back onto, of course, as a teams player. But no, I'm very happy. I said from the start to Finn that I will play whatever the team needs, unless it's orcs.
No more sad wars for you.
Yeah, it was. It's a story for another time. But no, I said my preference would definitely be in learning from that first ANCTC that I'd want to take an army, especially if I'm only going to do this. Might hopefully do it again in future. But you really wanted to take an army that I'm really proud of, and an army that I've played for a while, and a comfort pick as well. So that when games get tight, I can fall back on repetitions and muscle memory almost, rather than have to be playing something brand new that I don't really understand. So very happy I'm taking Sisters.
That makes sense.
Spoiler alert.
Any personal goals or expectations that you've set for yourself?
I think for me, it's from a team perspective, it'll just be do what I need to do and mentally make sure I come through it. Fine. The orc experience taught me a lot about playing teams and being the person that was just thrown under the bus a bit, and how to get through that mentally, because I didn't get through it very well, that one. But no, listen, I think for me is just putting my best foot forward so the team can succeed. As a team, I'd love to see us do better than we did last year, which I think, considering the field is larger and potentially tougher, I think would be a really good step if we can go a couple of placings better. And then from a personal perspective, I'd love to potentially, I don't know how many Sisters players will be there. I think almost every team will probably bring one. So if I could top 5 Adeptus Sororitas, but again, I'm not too concerned about that in a teams format, because my role generally is less about being an attacker and getting huge scores, and it's often about scrapping. So I accept that I'm often in tight games or tight losses. So my personal record won't really be a concern, but maybe in the singles, maybe I'll try target top 5 Sisters in the singles if I get really lucky.
Top 5 Sisters out of 500 people, because they broke 500 people for War Master sign up, I think. So it's going to be very interesting.
Yep,
you can do it. I believe in you.
Maybe place higher than Mitch. Mitch is.
That's a good target. Target. Yeah.
Yeah, we may be taking very similar lists. So in that case, we've list ideated together. So finish higher than him would be great.
Awesome.
Nice.
Cam, what about yourself? Why did you want to sign up?
There's a lot of overlap with Michael in terms of there's a lot of kind of things lining up that this was the year that this could happen if it was going to, in terms of life progression time frames, I guess is the way to put it. In terms of putting my name in the hat, so to speak. I initially just put through my name in for the Australia trip, which was back in May, and then got convinced to throw it in for the big trip. And thankfully, it's kind of lined up that I got married earlier this year, and we're rolling WTC into our honeymoon.
Oh, that's perfect.
Congratulations.
By that, I'm doing 10 days with the boys, and she's going on a girls' trip, and then we'll meet up in Italy.
Beautiful.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah,
that's a really good reason to go, I have to say.
Smart.
Europe honeymoon in summer. Yeah, it's a great time.
38 degrees today, so I'm not super thrilled about that.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's okay. They have cold beers. You're fine. Any sort of personal goals you set for yourself?
To be honest, making the team was the first goal out the gate.
You've already achieved it. It's done.
Yeah, we've achieved it. So that's good. And then obviously it's much what Michael said, is that You guys last year obviously came 12th,
15.
15th.
15th.
Yeah.
So beating 15th would be lovely. If we could knock over the big brother of Australia, that would be even better.
Will be difficult, but not impossible, I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be really good. I'm hoping we break into the top 10 this year. There were a couple of rounds where things could have gone, because I think Belgium came 10th last year, and we needed one more point to beat them. So we definitely, New Zealand as a country can punch up when we need to, and yeah, much more experienced team this year as well. So we're cheering you on. Any particular person you want to beat, Cam? Any
I'll be honest,
faction
I don't really,
grudges or
outside of the New Zealand scene, I don't really know who anyone is.
That's good.
anyone on the New Zealand team you want to do better than?
I mean, that's why are we staring? Why are we staring?
Like Charlie
The
loves
team
this.
sport. The team sport.
Charlie loves this
Why
part, man.
do you think we started a podcast so I could do this, stir shit up? That's great.
I mean, as long as I end the tournament happier than Dan, that'll be a win.
Ooh,
Not hard.
You're
that's
setting
awesome.
the bar too low. Come on, Cam.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah. So how have you found the preparation so far? I know the team has been prepping hard out for almost a year now, since the sign-ups and getting people on the team and doing the vetting and the selection process, and everyone showing up to events and putting in the efforts and the training weekends. Have you guys found the process, sort of your own personal journey to WTC?
I guess in terms of like the actual armies and what we're playing, that kind of stuff, that has kind of been up in the air, and just because of the way that the data slates and the Pro Nexus and all that kind of stuff dropped, that's kind of been up in the air until pretty much this week. So that's been a little bit stressful in terms of, can you just have a look at this? Just have a look at this. Across a lot of things, but it's been good. It's probably increased my knowledge of what's out there now.
Yeah,
that's true.
And Michael, I know you've got the added task of being sort of the team admin, camp mom type role.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's been stressful. We're currently dealing with the fact that our team shirts might be touch and go if they arrive in New Zealand before we fly out. So
again,
that's going to be lots of fun. We're literally looking at options of flying someone to Australia to just pick them up. So fly in, grab them, fly out, because that's more reliable than relying on any postal service.
Can we get an Australian team member to do it?
They're on the Gold Coast, and we are genuinely, and if you listen to this, Ollie, we may be reaching out at some point and paying you to go.
Ollie will buy your flight
to go get the shirts for us. So that's been the fun stress in my life. But no, I think the prep's been really interesting. For myself personally, it's probably been somewhat more and less stressful, more from the admin side, less from the army side, because I've known for a bit longer that I'm likely going to be playing Sisters. The only thing that would have taken me off playing Sisters would have been if the book came out and was garbage, but we got pretty early indication that the book was going to be pretty good. There were chances that I was going to play something else, because I do cover other factions that no one else really does that we thought we might want. But in the end, we decided Sisters were better for the team, and it was better for me to be on Sisters than anyone else. But no, I think it's been a really challenging build up at times because of how often the game changes. Prime Nexus has really thrown a spanner in the works, and especially before that, when we knew Prime Nexus was coming, it was, well, how much do we practice on an outdated edition where we know things are going to wildly change? Probably didn't think it would change that much, but so there's been some challenges there. But I think overall the teams put in a good amount of work, and I think we've put ourselves in a position to do pretty well. We've been lucky that we've had ANZTC, which was good practice in the 8-player format. We've had NZTC this last weekend, so given us a good competitive field to really test our lists that we were sort of thinking about with a week to go. So we'll have one more frantic weekend of testing this weekend, and then we'll lock some things in, and then it will just be regretting our choices for the next 3 weeks.
Then the ship will us out, and there'll be nothing we can do about it.
Exactly. Yeah. But I'm sure we'll still get at least someone is going to post in the chat, man, I made the wrong choice.
Well, I was I think last year about half an hour into round 1 with GSE. I was like, I made the wrong choice. There's too many models in this army. I don't want to play this.
But
Should have
surely
bought
that was
should have
foreseeable.
bought Chaos Knights.
Surely that was foreseeable.
Well, in practice games, they just won so quickly. It wasn't much of an issue. And because I was only playing, a couple of games, practice a day, talking out, I didn't take into account that I was playing an army that can't get tabled in a team's format where you fight for every point on a 4-hour round on concrete floors. By the way, bring good footwear because it is concrete flooring on some pretty low tables. So
Yeah, all the
Yay.
foam mats.
How good.
If you have the foam mat, that also help you.
Yeah.
Yoga mats, something
like a
like
yoga
that.
mat.
Yeah, actually.
Oh, that could be the play cam. We'll get some yoga mid-round, a bit of downward dog, while where our opponents are taking their turn. We'll just bust out a bit of team yoga.
We will live stream that on this channel.
Yes.
Just
As
for
a,
you guys.
as a
Please.
coach, Charlie, I'm sure you can help come and like stretch out the calves and
You're,
Yeah,
you're,
yeah.
the-
stretch
you're
out
the, you're the instructor.
rolling
Jack,
hand.
Surely.
What? Just give you guys massages mid-round kind of thing. Yeah.
Or just sound a bell off that just like indicates that the minute's finished.
Ding.
We can carry
and
on.
some incense.
You bring
Yeah.
a big bowl, dong, a gong or something like that. But
Uh,
come on.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's hilarious.
well,
Um,
Michael already touched a little bit of the next question. That it was what did Paria Nexus and the Balance Late change anything for your role in the team? So Michael, already you told us that at least you were good with that. What about you, Cam? Did Paria Nexus change anything for you?
in terms of
Not
the
really.
role playing in the team, like attacker, defender,
Not
scorer.
really. I've kind of fallen into a defenderish type of role. That's obviously changed up with just the way the armies are balanced out and that kind of thing. And we're still even going into this weekend. Like those kind of roles, I don't think are really going to be as defined as they once were.
Yeah.
In terms of this is always going forward first. I don't think that really exists anymore.
No, I think it'll be a bit more dynamic. And like, if NZTC taught us anything, that any list can become an attacker, right? Because Lockie played Grey Knights with the NDK list, and he just went and 20-0'd everyone.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that was what. No, I was his first non-20-0. I got 2 points. Very proud.
Good job, Charlie. Good job.
Yeah, Lockie, the god can bleed.
Just not much.
Just not a whole lot, a little bit. Fun question. Burger with blue cheese, yay or nay?
What kind of patty are we looking at?
Double beef Angus.
Then absolutely.
Michael,
Strong
not a
no.
fan of blue cheese, no?
No, I accidentally bought a blue cheese brie the other day. It was like a kind of slightly bluish brie.
Yeah.
And that was horrific. I'm not about this. Just chuck a dirty cheddar on my burger and we'll move on with life.
Close.
All right. That is an option. So one of the places we went to, and this is the thing as well, right? Is you finish your round, because 2 rounds a day, 4 hours each. You finish your round at 8:30. By the time you get back, drop your stuff off, it's past 9 o'clock. A lot of restaurants are actually closed, so we found this nice little place that a lot of the teams go to, called Beastie Burgers, and they have about 30 burgers, 35 burgers, I want to say, on their menu, and they're all fantastic. So if you've ever been to the Wellington on a Plate burger festival that's run once a year in Wellington, they're all like that and better. So
Does it
very
come with
much
the beer pairing?
they have beer, and then they'll yell at you if you don't use one of their goblets. Yeah, and they've got what is it, the Tripor Carmelia on tap, and it is a very, very nice beer.
Charlie, just a
I'm on
question about
on the website now.
that burger. Is the blue cheese
Yes.
inside of the patty or is on top?
No, it was added. So this story is funny. We finished up, we went there, and I think Team Ireland were there, and they ordered just before us. So I was in queue, getting the burgers for the team, and this mad lad from Team Ireland just turned around and said, "You're just gonna have what I ordered for you." And I went, "Hold on, what's happening here?" We're having a chat, and he said, apparently every tournament he goes to a different country, he just goes and finds like the local craziest food available. He found some illegal ice cream once somewhere. Yeah, he just finds the best food, and he custom created a burger at a burger joint, and it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
Nice. Uh, I'm just asking because I actually like the blue cheese in the burgers, but when I do the patties, I put the blue cheese inside, so it's part of the inside of the patty.
No, this was like a big chunk melted in with the cheddar on top of the patty. It was a stank, but it was
It's
good.
not for everybody, Michael.
Michael
Don't worry.
shaking his head.
I actually did not like blue cheese until my wife loved cheese, and she's half French, so she loves cheese, and blue cheese is one of their favorite. I was like, how the heck you can eat that shit? I was like, and now I'm a converted person to the blue cheese. So it's a acquired taste, Michael. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I
Well,
prefer my food not decomposing. So
Yes, I know.
we'll acquire it on Michael's behalf. Belgium. All right.
What Michael doesn't know won't hurt him.
Exactly. Oh, this is delicious. What is this, guys? It's blue cheese, Michael. Awesome. We'll wrap it up. I guess, yeah, guys. Any last sort of words of encouragement for people, other people in New Zealand that are watching the team, supporting us going over there to compete? Would you, any words of recommendation around the team's format? I know we've talked a lot about, so for some of us, it's our personal favorite way to play Warhammer. Just anything you want to say to kind of the New Zealand community that, after a great turnout for NZTC last week.
Essentially, thank you for any and all the support that has been sent out and around. In terms of doing it yourself, I would 100% recommend just throw your name in the hat. What's the worst that can happen? Yeah.
mirror everything Cam says. Thanks for all the support that people have given us. We'll try our best to give live updates. Hopefully the coaches will. Otherwise, I will try and give updates as well. And yeah, if you want to get more involved in competitive teams, the recommendation would be start at the sort of event level. So come along to, I'll show my own events, our event. Come along to NZTC, come along to Warp Wars, go to the Wellington teams events. They're a great start. Learn the system from there. You can learn to be a faction specialist or a role specialist, and that'll really help you if you want to then go further for the likes of ANZTC, go and represent North or South New Zealand, and then from there, that's a good building block to work towards WTC. So, yeah, it's hopefully I'll come back in a month and a half's time and say how great it was, and not this was a absolute grind. So,
no sad miracle dice.
well, maybe we'll
He
see
might be
how
holding a trophy. We'll see.
yeah.
The thing, guys,
Awesome.
that is,
Thank you.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say that is really impressive, guys. You have worked hard during the last couple of months trying to put your best, finding camps, jumping maybe in factions. Michael, you have a lot of experience, but I guess also helping your same team members, helping Finn. I think it's a lot of preparation. People don't understand, don't see a part of the financial commitment that is huge, and nobody's here supporting the team. So it's pretty much all that you guys are paying for all of that. But there is all that preparation to go and represent New Zealand, to try to do your best, um, which I think people needs. That's one of the things that we wanted to bring with Charlie. The people can see all that is behind, because they go and see, oh, they went there, but what's the people behind that, and all that you have done and prepare for. So really thank you for taking the time to be with us today. I will try to get Charlie to live cast as a live stream from there, from Belgium, so people can follow you guys, and can be part of your results, and send you guys some, uh, all the energy, because that's what you are going to need, probably a lot of energy to get through that long period.
Yeah. Yeah. And if anyone wants to donate, I will make sure that the money goes towards blue cheese for Michael.
You're evil.
Or
Charlie.
you can just
This
buy
is-
a
this is
team
excellent.
You
mat.
got Team Matt still, Michael?
Yeah,
Oh
there's,
yeah,
there's
do you want to
still
plug some
available.
merch? Want to plug some merch?
Yeah,
Mike?
please.
There's basically only the mats left, but if you want to buy a mat, reach out to me. They've got almost all of the deployment zones on it.
Ooh.
Oh,
What
Got
more
4
could
out
you
of
ask
6.
for?
4 out of 6 ain't bad.
Yeah. If you only love playing Hammer and Anvil, we've got you covered.
Yeah, look, sweeping engagement or whatever, is that the one that's changed? Is it sweeping engagement that's
Yes.
changed to the new one?
Yeah, tipping
And
point is the new one.
tipping
Sweeping
point, yeah.
engagement.
Look,
And Dawn of War moved up 2 inches. Excellent.
don't tell that.
it's
Like,
50%
Alright.
accurate. That's what I
Look,
can tell you, Michael.
50% of your games, you will have your deployment zones marked out, and you'll be really grateful for it.
Yeah.
And the other 50%, you will just need to wait till next year when we design a new mat, and then you can
You can get that one.
be perfectly covered. Then you can swap the mat out, and you'll be covered. But no, if you do want one, reach out to me. I'm sure I can sort something out. I've got a whole box of them left over. At this rate, I'm just going to have an army of mats. I'll recarpet my house with Team New Zealand mats. So
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I think that guys that yeah, if you're listening here, you don't have your Team New Zealand mat. We have how many, Charlie? We have 3, 4?
We've got 3. I've got 1 as well,
Yeah.
so 4. Yeah.
We have 4. Just go and buy one, guys. It's really cool design. You have the name of all the Team New Zealand, so you can ask them to sign it. Well, nobody
I
wants
will
to sign
absolutely devalue your mat for you.
mine. What if they win, man, and you have the signatures there? You need to bet high,
It's a collector's
Charlie.
item.
Yeah,
waiting
It
to
is, there
happen.
would
straight
be.
away.
Yeah.
yeah, if
It's-
we win, we're charging double the price to sign your
Exactly.
mat.
Yeah.
So get in now while it's free.
yeah, that's what I'm
Double,
saying.
Free.
double or
Not
free
free,
is still
Michael. It's a
free.
fundraiser. Not free.
Well, no. The signing is free. We'll sign
Oh.
it for free,
Okay.
but the mat's
Mats will
definitely
double
not
that.
free.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
No.
That makes more sense. Like,
Yeah.
Double of 0 is still 0, Michael. Like,
And they come
know
with
your ideas, person.
they still come with dices, Michael, or that.
Well, I can sure I could sort something out. If you contact me and say I heard this on Tactical Chili Wargaming, and I want to get a mat, I'll hook you up with some Team New Zealand dice as well.
That's that, guys. You need to get those. The dice are super bloody nice. Yeah, they are. So, yep.
They roll pretty well.
What are you
They
talking
do.
about? They roll well, man.
Yeah.
Not for
All
you.
right. Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Cam. Great having you on the show. And thanks for sharing your road to WTC with us.
Hopefully, we'll be back on holding the
Yes,
Victor's Trophy.
we
Absolutely.
will try to get you guys here when you are back, so you can tell us your experience after the WTC.
Absolutely.
Sounds like a plan.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Cheers,
lads.
guys.
Have a good night. Thank you for your time.
Bye.
Bye.
What a good interview, Charlie. Finally, I see
That was-
you actually leading this, or what? It's really good. I just sit and relax.
Well,
this
I had
time.
the questions open, right?
I have it too,
Makes sense.
but you went, which is fine. I'm really liking that. From the first one that you
No, it
didn't
was-
want to speak, and I needed to push you to talk. Now you are leading the conversations. Fuck, I'm winning. I'm winning here, man.
It's the best. Soon I'll just start doing this solo.
Yeah, probably it's better, man. People don't
No,
want to listen to
That
me.
was a really good interview. I thought.
Yes.
Lovely to get the guys on camera and just talk about the hard work they've put in and how much effort it actually takes to go to WTC. Not just the financial, and it's not just you just paint an army, pack it up, go roll some dice out.
There's a lot of preparation, a lot of work
behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have seen it because
Yeah,
we have shared with them in some of the events. We have, and you can see how much they go.
Yes.
Yeah. So it is really, really, really good, and hopefully we can keep sharing this with everybody.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll try and get a few more lads from the team on interviews as we lead up to like Michael said, we're on a plane at this time in 3 weeks, so hopefully we'll get 2 or 3 more interviews in. And yeah, get everyone and
With a promise
get our elusive captain.
yes,
Get our elusive captain on. Yes.
yes. Finn has said after the team's event, so we are already after. So I'm going to try to just confirm the date, but we will 100% try to bring Finn here and then a couple more from last year and this year. So yeah, thank you everybody for listening. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel to follow us and get the notification when we have a new episode. We are every week bringing at least one. So yeah, please support the channel, and we will be following up all the WTC live, hopefully, with you, Charlie, over there.
Sounds excellent.
Cool. That's
Thanks,
it.
everyone. Thanks for listening.
Yes, thank you for listening.
Catch you on the next one.
See you in the next one. Good night.